What's up, y'all? This is Franchise Play coming through with a preview of the Fox Sports 1 boxing card coming up on Friday. It's a Mayweather promotion, but to be honest, it's not. These are not going to be more than likely great fights. What could have been mildly interesting was going to be the Ishe Smith versus Erislandy Lara fight. But that's not going to take place anymore. Erislandy Lara understandably bolted on the fight to take a fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. So that leaves Ishe Smith taking on 35-year-old journeyman Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis is not one of those guys you probably heard of unless you're an absolute boxing savant. He's 24-13 with only 9 knockouts. He's lost his last 4 fights. So this is really a throw-together bout to just keep Ishe Smith active. Ishe is a very likable fighter. I mean, easy guy to get behind. He's got a good story or whatever, but he doesn't really have a glaring or a big, huge talent that jumps out at you. He's a professional fighter who, more or less goes about his business, not going to get embarrassed. But his loss to Carlos Molina, that lost his 154-pound title, was pretty embarrassing, I felt. Molina's a skilled fighter, skilled boxer, but definitely not a guy who you would, kind of think should be beating Ishe Smith, so to speak. That's kind of the way I looked at it. So, that said, it's hard to imagine Ryan Davis having anything for Ishe Smith. Ishe probably outboxes him. He more than likely, I wouldn't say I would suspect him to be stopped, even though Ryan Davis has been stopped 6 times in his career. So not completely out of the realm of possibility, but then we all know Ishe's not a huge puncher either. He only has 11 KOs, so probably not going to be a great fight. Another fight on that card features Mickey Bey. Now Bey is trying to continue to bounce back. He had a TKO loss to John Molina back in July of 2013. He did knock out Carlos Cardenas in December of 2013, but now he's back. He's taking on Alan Herrera. Herrera's not either. He's not a big time name either. He's only 24 years old. He's coming off a loss in his last fight in a 6-round decision. As a matter of fact, he has had few 10-round or 12-round fights in his career. So it seems as though he's definitely stepping up in class, taking on Mickey Bey. I actually got a chance to see Herrera fight Will Tomlinson. It was back in 2011. So you can assume that he may have picked up some experience since then, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win him a decision over Mickey Bey. As a matter of fact, you could possibly see a stoppage. Now, the only problem about trying to stop Herrera is this guy has a great chin. You saw that if you go on YouTube and take a look at the fight of him against Will Tomlinson. Tomlinson lights him up with some good shots, and he takes them all pretty well. He doesn't have a lot of great defense, keeps his hands really wide open, really kind of invites the straight right hand. So you might see that a bit from Mickey Bey against Herrera, but it shouldn't be a difficult fight for Mickey Bey. It should be something to allow him to keep looking good. If he can stop him, it's going to really bode well for him because this guy has a great chin. But Mickey Bey should win that fight, no problem. Another fight, the third fight on that card, is Jesus Cuellar against Rico Ramos. Now this particular fight is actually for the interim WBA World Featherweight title. I remember some years back, I was really high on Rico Ramos. Really high. I thought he had a chance to really be one of the next really good fighters in the lower weight classes. But he ran into Guillermo Rigondeaux back in 2012. And Rigondeaux put a good beating on him, stopped him in the 6th round, and to be honest, Ramos hasn't been the same since. Since then, he's lost 2 of 5 fights. He did win his last 2, but just hasn't looked the same. Now, Cuellar is a seek and destroy kind of a fighter. Tough Mexican fighter, goes to the body, always coming forward, never stops giving the pressure. Now, Ramos is a good, slick boxer, but I don't know that he can hold Cuellar off for this entire bout. I think I see Cuellar going to the body, wearing him down, and by say the 7th or 8th round, Ramos won't have as much steam. He won't be as mobile, and I think Cuellar is going to ultimately get the stoppage win and win the interim WBA title. It's something how you can see a guy kind of fall back, because if you had asked me about a fight like this for Ramos like 3 years ago, I would have easily said I saw Ramos winning. But this time, not so much. I think Cuellar wins this fight. Probably gets a mid to late round stoppage on Rico Ramos. So check it out when this drops on Friday to see whether or not I was on target or not. You guys subscribe, follow, peace.